Good evening, everyone.
Hi, Daron, you're loud and clear.
Perfect. Thank you, Jeff.
Hello, Dan here.
Hey, Dan. How you doing?
Great. I'm not a member of the club, but I thought I'd just snoop around and see what you guys do, and I'll attend the meeting a little bit later.
No problem. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, appreciate everyone being here. You don't have to be a member or a ham raider operator. So, yeah, love to have you here. Yeah. How'd you hear about us?
Oh, I guess I was doing a Google search, and I just got my ticket in 2020, so I'm kind of a newbie in a way. Uh, CW, QRP, that's it. But anyways, I was snooping around to see what clubs there were around town, and I attended a meeting just recently with the Colorado QRP Club, virtually, and I thought, well,
Yeah.
I'll check you guys out too.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. Appreciate you having here. Yeah, glad you're here. Well, it looks like it's about that time. We have a few people here. Good evening. Welcome to the Elmer session. It's about 45 minutes, or excuse me, it's about an hour. You should be seeing my screen. I'm also sharing my camera. My name is Daron. My call sign is K1DBC. As we were just discussing, you don't have to be a member of this club. You don't have to be a ham radio operator. This isn't a net or anything. This is just a very casual conversation about ham radio, STEM topics in general. We have a lot of combined expertise and experience. More information, our club, W0TX.org. Let's see what else. Elmer at W0TX.org if you have any questions. For the first time, we're actually streaming on our official YouTube channel, youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. So if you have a smartphone or smart TV, and if you want to stream this on that or view it after the fact, either this Elmer session or the upcoming meeting, it will be there. So I've been able to transition off of my personal YouTube channel onto the official one. So hopefully here we'll have some videos newer than 1992. So yeah, with that, I'll throw it out to the group. Again, this is a Q&A, about an hour long. If anybody has any comments, questions, anything you'd like to bring up, let us know. Again, general Q&A about ham radio. A lot of things that ham radio covers, so I certainly can bring some things up, but if you have some things, don't hesitate to let us know.
So, Darren, I'm kind of confused. Not confused, just wondering what kind of attendance do you usually get on this particular session, and what kind of expertise is in the group typically? Are a half dozen people typically show up, and is it kind of a round robin, or what is it?
Just a general Q&A. Yeah, nobody has to say anything really. I kind of just drive the show until somebody says something. But yeah, we generally have early on about 10, 15 people, and then as the meeting goes on, about 30 or 40 people join in. So later in the meeting, there are definitely more people that join up. You can put in questions via the chat, via the audio. Yeah, generally people have brought up things about their different projects they're working on, different radios that they're working on, different nets that they're trying to check into, things like that. So we have a kind of a sister net, if you will, Wednesday nights, very similar to this. In regards to kind of expertise, our club Elmer, let's see, is he on? Fred Hart, AA0JK, he's on here this evening. That was the wrong, oh yeah, that was the right one. Learning Net on Wednesday nights, very similar to this. But yeah, very similar. Let me bring up my. Looks like last week we had talked about somebody had a question or update about the Lakewood siren test, saying it was nice to meet up in person. Let's see. We also talked about somebody had asked a question about a 60-foot long wire end-fed antenna. That they were trying to, they had a 9-to-1 Ballon coax. This isn't going to come up. Yeah, so just general kind of radio questions. We were talking about in-person meetings, if that was a thing. So I'm sure we can bring up any of those sorts of things. But if you have any other questions on that, go ahead.
I have
Good evening.
Hey, good evening, Fred. Sorry about that. Yeah, Dan. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, just So I've been operating a couple of years since 2020, and I'm using three different end feds, 40, 30, and a 20 meter. Um, what I do is they're up about 25 feet up from they go out the window of my shack out to some trees. And I typically just drop them down with the tether away from the house when there's potential lightning. But during the day, if there's wind, and we've had a lot of wind this year, interestingly enough, I've wondered about static charges building up. And I'm wondering if there's been any experience with that happening of any people that may be online right now in terms of static electricity building up on an NFED or just wire antennas in general. And if so, what have you done about that?
That sounds kind of familiar to something we have spoken about. We've definitely spoken about the high winds, and people have reported some events that have happened, knocking things down. There was some sort of experiment somebody was trying to run, but I can't remember if it was that exactly. But yeah, I don't know exactly, but I'll throw it out to the group. Static electricity buildup or charges, anything like that that anybody would know of with high winds and friction like that, let us know.
A0JK.
Yeah, Fred, go ahead.
Yeah, we went into that extensively there on the Wednesday night net here a couple of months ago, and I've wrote an article there for the round table that's listed that you can bring up and read up on that. But there's suggestions there concerning the issue of static electricity buildup on not only your wire antennas, but all of the, especially vertical antennas, are susceptible to it. But I wrote those articles up there as to how to address that issue and rectify it. So make reference to those if you can there, just the round table, and go to the index there and go down through the listing there and pull that up. But we had some real good discussions on that. And yes, it's a problem. And if you use vertical antennas, a lot of times you will hear, you can actually hear the buildup of static electricity building up. You can hear it in your receiver, and then all of a sudden you get a pop, and that's that discharge of it. And you know, it's always nice to be able to eliminate that. So refer to those articles, and they'll get you going down the right direction there.
Thank you. Thank you. That sounds great.
Perfect. Yeah, looks like may have been a learning net in March. It was put out in the April 2022 roundtable, available on our website, W0TX.org. Hopefully, it'll be updated a little bit soon here. But let's see, roundtable April 22nd, 2022, on page 12. Yeah, it looks like a static bleeder for your antenna. Here in Colorado, with our dry climate, we notice problems with static electricity, whether it's a zap from shuffling one's feet, living room, to pesky feed line issues in the shack. During the weekly net, the subject came up, and not feeling that the subject was adequately addressed, for the research, many antennas do not have means of bleeding off static buildup. This includes your popular verticals, dipoles, and antennas without transformer type of balance. This can also be a concern with other antenna accessories such as your impedance matching tuner and analyzers. Can also be damaged when the arc jumps the gaps. What can we do to solve? Solution suggested is permanently connected a high voltage, high value resistor across the feed point of all your antennas. For the resistors, they mentioned, Fred mentions a Ohmite MaxMox part here, a thick film resistor, which is perfect for this application. A resistor is rated at 10 kilovolts and 3 mega ohms, available from Mouser. Mouser part there. Normally just a single resistor is needed, but if you run high power to a highly reactive antenna like a 43-foot vertical on 160 meters, you may want to put 2 to 3 resistors in series. Photos below show a single resistor ready for installation on a 20-15 10-meter dipole, 3 resistors in series covered with liquid electrical tape mounted on the base of a 43-foot vertical. Should help alleviate static problems. So a few bucks should fix those problems.
Sounds good.
Yeah. There was also a video I think we had seen, we were looking at, of oh yeah, just you can see arcing static electricity charge on a UHF cable here. Maybe. So yeah, these are things to worry about. If you don't have correct things in place, you want to make sure you definitely disconnect your antennas, your feed lines, everything power related. Don't risk your equipment breaking just due to thunderstorms that we'll have. So, yeah, good questions there. Dan, appreciate that. I know we had spoken about that here recently, so yeah, appreciate Fred remembering that. So, yeah, if you have anything else, or if anybody else has anything, let us know.
This is Dick, N6WHV.
Yeah, Dick, go ahead.
Hi. Field day is coming up, and we're going to do it again. And I'm supposed to be the band manager, decide which bands we work. And so I've got lots of questions and poor memory. Last year, were we a 3A drone or?
Yep, so we were 3 Alpha.
3
Yep.
Alpha, okay. And we plan on doing that again this year?
Yeah, either 2 or 3. Let me see if I can bring up that exact information here. If you have any other questions while I'm bringing that up, go ahead.
Okay, well, we apparently ordered a low pass filter for the 40 meter station, transmit filter, which should reduce its signal strength, the harmonics, into the 20 meter receiver by 74 dB. That should put the problem to rest, I think. Last year, 40 meters just killed 20 whenever they transmitted.
Okay, perfect. Yep, I know we were talking about that. So yeah, that would be good to have. And so this is for use. Are we going to be using one antenna, multiple bands on one antenna, or how is that what this application is for? I was just trying to confirm.
The filter is just for 40 meters. And
okay.
I think last year we had a dipole or an end-fed for 40 meters. And then we had the tri-bander 20, 15, and 10 connected to just one radio. And that was dedicated to single sideband. 40 meters, we worked single sideband. This year, I would like to see us working FT4 and FT8 on one radio.
Okay.
That's a new mode for some folks, I guess. I find it to be a lot of fun, and it works when one single sideband doesn't. So it might be the only thing going, late at night or early in the morning.
A question on field day. I've never experienced one. Do you ever run more than one operator on let's say for the CW lower section of CW on 20 meters? Do you ever run more than one operator at a time, or is that just really too difficult to do because of interference?
In terms of on the same band?
Yes. Let's say two people wanted to work lower 20.
No, not at the moment. Not at the moment. No, one radio is working a single band, and another radio is working another band.
Okay.
I think 20 and 40 are the more popular bands. It's worked in two-person operations, one for doing the logging and one for doing the operations as well. So, and there's plenty of opportunity. It's a 24-hour event. I'm just showing video from our event last year, operating positions and things like that. So, yeah.
There's the antenna rotor.
Yeah.
So do you
Armstrong.
recall what antenna we had on 40 meters to run?
Let's see, what did we have in here? Sorry. Thought I had it right here.
Yeah, we did get some rain too.
Yeah, we did get some rain. Let's see. It's a 20 meter outside operations on the on that large rig there. I believe there's you can't really see it, but to the left of the or to the side of that large tower there is another shorter tower with a wire antenna, and that was also in use as well. I can't really find a good photo of it at the
Okay,
moment.
well,
Oh yeah,
the
right
40
here.
meter rig was in the van, and that was always on 40, I think. I don't think it ever changed. So maybe
Okay.
that was a monoband antenna then.
So then the 20 meter must have been this one using this. I forget what kind of antenna this is. Mark X and 0XRX provided this one here.
Okay, that was the mast for the 40.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Is that a club-owned mast? Or, I mean, who owns the tower? Is that privately owned or is it club-owned?
Red Cross, I think.
Salvation
Oh.
Army. The Salvation Army owns
Salvation
that.
Army, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
darn.
They have the Salvation Army Saturn Club. Not to divert here real quick. But we do get a lot of support from them, which is really awesome. Salvation Army Team Emergency Radio Network, so they do have a net and things like that. So they don't deploy too much with that equipment, so we kind of exercise it a lot more than it's used normally. So yeah, that equipment is provided by them. A lot of this equipment is provided either by club members or the Salvation Army. They provided one radio within the comm vehicle itself, and then the club provides some laptops and stuff as well. So club owned, privately owned, and from some of our served agencies. Sorry to derail you there.
It's just bring your own key then, right?
Kind
not
of.
even-
We're trying to make sure we're operating within, and that's why Dick is actually checking in here. We want to make sure we're using the same, operating on strict bans. We tried last year to have people bring in their own equipment, and it was kind of it was a novel idea. Kind of teaching them how to use their own equipment, getting to use it for the first time, but it just caused some confusion. So I think for the most part, we'll use kind of the few radios that we try to provide, and yeah. So.
Okay,
JK?
well, question then on FT8. I have
Yep.
quite a functional FT8 station, which is a Yaesu FTDX10 and a laptop, and the two just need a USB cable between them. So it's goof proof as far as setting it up. And we'd probably want to work the same bands or within one band of the 20 meter band. If 20 meters is jumping up, then we'd probably go to 15 and probably still do okay on FT8, but single sideband usually doesn't work so well.
Comment.
So we need maybe a second antenna that would cover 40, 20, and 15. And I don't know about the one we had before.
I know XRX definitely has some antennas. Orland Wolf has some antennas. We definitely should have some antennas available. I guess Fred, A0JK, go ahead.
Yeah, I was asking about that operating multiple stations on one band. My main interest was CW possibly being made available. And as the day progresses and the bands shift, my big thought was being able to switch from one band to the other as propagation shifted. But after talking with Jerry, he kind of insinuated that operating more than one station on each band might be a problem, and I can understand that. And he kind of zeroed in on us possibly going to the 17 meter band if Alex happens to show up there for operating the CW mode for the club. If not, there's some of the rest of us that would like to be able to get some CW time in also. But if we could touch bases with Jerry there and see what his further thoughts are on putting up, say, just a end-fed or a dipole, something along those lines, something simple that we can attach to one of those other antenna bases there to get us onto the 17-meter band there for CW operation. But I kind of got the feeling after talking to Jerry that trying to operate more than one station at a time on a band is just asking for interference, and keeping it down to just one radio per band, and avoid any of the problems that usually ensue trying to operate multiple radios in that close vicinity. Anyhow, back to you, Daron.
Okay, thank you there, Fred. Yeah, we did have a meeting about it, and it was we were talking about bandpass filters and things like that, and it seemed like there was a possible solution in there, but yeah, maybe for the coming future. But at least with some sort of filtering in there, we'll have much less overlaps between the bands there.
Dick has a comment.
Yeah, go ahead, Dick.
I don't believe we can use 17 meters. I think the work bands are not utilized for the contest.
Okay.
I think it's 80 or 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10. And that's
15, then it'd be 15 meters.
Okay, and then VHF is like some bonus stuff. And are we going to do anything there, Duran? But 6 or 2 meters.
Orland Wolf had done 6 meters in the past. I don't know if he's planning on doing so in this year as well.
Yeah, I worked in his truck. He had a mobile rig on 6.
Okay. 160 through 10 and 50 megahertz. There, if you want to work, I don't know Alexi's plans for CW operations, but we have CW keys, we have transceivers, so we have the ability to do so. You just you got to get in there, and the radios are quiet at night, so there's plenty of opportunity. So don't hesitate to jump in there, because there's always opportunity to operate. What else to have on there, Dick, for field day? And this is open to everyone else. This is an event for us, put on by us.
Comment, AA0JK.
Dick, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. We spent quite a bit of time with some new hams that had really never operated before, and they were trying out, and of course it was single sideband. They did not get involved in any other mode. So I guess you can run a field day as you want to win a contest, or you want to educate people and introduce things to possible new hams. So there's a yin and a yang there, or something. We can't do both.
That is a good point. Yeah. Let's see if or go ahead, Fred.
Yeah, yes, we can do multiple. That's the whole objective. One of our main objectives is to inviting folks in to see what amateur radio is, and giving them an opportunity to talk on the radios. That's one of our primaries. I don't think that collecting points is the primary objective. And also another note here, Daron, on the air May and June issue is just loaded here with information for field day operation. And I highly recommend that everyone take a look at this prior to the actual event. I'm looking right now at safety tips for the ARRL field day, which definitely should be looked over. So if you haven't already been made aware of it, take a look at field day safety and some of the precautions here to keep in mind as we set up, operate, and then tear down the site. But back to you, Daron.
Okay, perfect. Thanks there, Fred. June edition of QST, AL Field Day Guide here. Yeah, appreciate that. I'll have to
Yeah,
check that
on
here
the
in a
air,
minute.
on the air magazine, on the
Oh,
air
on the air.
magazine,
Okay, gotcha.
on the
Okay.
air.
Let's see. Looking at this is the submission entry submission for contesting. Yeah, we're not a huge numbers club anyway. Quite frankly, we got our numbers mostly from Alexia in the past for CW. We can get points for a lot of different things: emergency power, publicity. Public information, there's a lot of things here. Youth participation, get on the air, safety officer, social media. We've been talking about this as well. So we want more people to be. I think somebody had been voluntold they might be a safety officer, but if that doesn't work, we can always use some help on that. And social media, we'd love to see your presence this year. We're on twitter.com/Denver Radio Club. So take some photos. Don't really have much here right now, but Dick, I wonder if you have any follow-up on Field Day. I know FT8, we'll try to get that done. I mean, as long as we have, again, it's very much like CW, as long as we have, and you mentioned that you have a laptop and USB cable, I mean, and we have lots of transceivers, and we can always get things in place there for you. So whether it be CW or FT8, any modes that you want to try, we can certainly do so. And that's for any club members. There's always some downtime usually, and if you're wanting to operate, we shouldn't stop you from doing so.
Okay, well, FT8 and FT4 are both self-logging, so
Okay.
it makes
Oh yes.
the test simpler.
Yep.
And you can run a lower power if you were running beneath the single sideband band. You probably wouldn't cause any interference. And it'll work when single sideband doesn't. So when the band 20 dies at night or whatever, you may still do very well with FT4 or 8 for
This is
several
Tom
more
in
hours.
5HYP from Dallas. Hi.
Hey Tom, yeah, go ahead.
Just making sure that you realize FT4 and FT8, you have to be able to work in the field day exchange. You can't just exchange the grid square like the normal FT4 and FT8 exchange are. You have to use the special fields and put your class and section in, and that
Correct.
has to get acknowledged. Yeah.
That's built into the software, the
Well, it is.
WSJP
Just have people
X.
forget that, and they just say, "Oh, I can do what I always do," but you
Yeah,
can't.
you can change to ARRL field day, and then it asks you to enter in your section and all that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Yep, I remember there. I haven't played around with FT8 in a while, but I remember there was a special mode for Field Day itself, so that would allow for that correct communication. So, okay, cool. Yeah, we still need to come up with and probably hybrid solution now with potentially bringing in other sources of information like FT8 from other data logging software, and how we do that, or we may have to just culminate it at the end. Just trying to bring things up, and I'm just a little scatterbrained here this evening. There's a lot of stuff here, so about Field Day. Okay.
What did you log with last year, Jerome?
N3FJP. And they have a purpose built for Field Day, I believe we had used. So we have one server version of this essentially, and then a bunch of other clients. They all look exactly the same, but they all just log to one central database. But we can export as a general, I forget what the export file is, but we should be able to potentially intermingle all the data together somehow. Depending.
You can periodically do ADIF exports from
That's what it is.
your FT8 software, and then import them into one of the clients that is running in 3FJP, and that'll add to the population in the N3FJP log.
Cool. Okay. Yep. One way or the other, we'll have some sort of solution.
Tom, do you have to do that in a batch after the contest or during the?
No, you could, if you do this right, you can keep track of where you could segment your ADIF exports
Okay.
I think, although it might be safer to do it afterward, but you want to also keep backing up. Make sure your N3 FJP is backing itself up periodically to separate files, so that if something blows up in one of these imports, you can always go back.
Yep. So Daron, are you going to go ahead and use the same software this year?
I think so. I don't know if we've landed on that 100% yet. I know that we got new computers in. I think they are. You know, I'll have to defer to Mark N0XRX on that. I don't know if he's here on the call. I don't see that. I know that we were potentially coming up with a different solution, but I think if he bought some new laptops, and as long as they're Windows, we'll continue to use this.
Okay.
If you have something else, we can check into it as well. As long as, yeah, you guys mentioned ADAIF exports, we could do that. That's a manual way we could do it. If not, we can find some other way potentially. So cool. Yeah, it says it has interface with.
And also, I think Scott in 3FJP has his API that he uses for linking other software is fairly documentable. I'd be willing to bet you that on his site, or if you even email him, say what's the best way to link, the WSJT. I think you use a JT alert. That's how you end up bringing the log data around from the JT software. And I think JT alert interfaces into N3FJP through his API.
Cool. Yep. Yep, I see that now. Cool. Yeah, we'll have some sort of Wi-Fi or wired network there. So that's exactly what we can do. Yeah, there's a lot of little connections to make.
Tom, do you know if WSJT-X will flag duplicate call signs on the same band or not?
Well, that probably no, although I don't know how it works in contest mode. Contest mode is, I think, mostly just to get the exchange right for the contest. But I think you have to. That's where you might actually have to think a little bit when doing doing the operating.
You mentioned the other software, I forget its name now. I've been using Grid Tracker, and it'll show you if you've worked the station, but does this other one do it also?
By Grid, this is the interface that has, it will, if you put in a call sign.
I think he's talking about, for just standard FT8. I don't think he's talking.
You mentioned another piece of software, which is
JT Alert is what I was talking about. That I think is kind of sort of the, I'm not a big digital guy, so I'm not the right person to ask. That's probably where the tracking occurs.
Yeah, I know nothing about it, so I'm very familiar with Grid Tracker. Okay.
Cool.
Anybody else know JT Alert?
Yeah. I did
Sorry,
a while
I'm
ago.
not supposed to be hoarding into your meeting.
No, that's okay. That's what it's for. That's okay. I used to have a pretty good setup going, but I can't bring it up at the moment. But yeah, a lot of different combination between alerting, JT Alert, WSJTX, and then a lot of different combinations of reporting tools. But I didn't really do too much on that. But it's been a while for me.
And we need to test it before field day too, right?
Yeah. Yep. We should hopefully be able to go to at least the Salvation Army and unpack their equipment and do some initial testing. We'll probably have to do some testing Friday afternoon, Friday evening, when we'll probably have stuff set up, and or maybe Saturday morning before it starts.
Can we set up before 6 p.m. on Friday?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what time, but probably as early as 12 p.m. I don't think anybody will be there that early, but Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, good questions there. Good information about field day. Dick, do you have anything else, or I wonder if?
I don't recall the rules on 2 meters and 6 meters. I don't think you can use them as contacts, but there's something like a bonus for having that station, or you can use them, Tom? Okay.
You
That's
get
fair.
a free VHF station
That's
that
what it
doesn't
is.
count into your station count, but besides that, they do count. You could technically run a station full time on 70 centimeters sideband or CW, and that would count if you had a 70 and a 2 and whatever. You just get to count one of those as the bonus VHF UHF station.
Okay, so if you had 6 and 2 meters both, you can only count one then, right?
Well, I mean, you would count the one, you get the other free. The idea is you get more contacts for the number. I mean, you could choose to forego the free and just add your count if you want to have a higher count to get a better chance of getting you know, more visible. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out how these folks that do the 26A, you can't run that many. You can't
Jeez.
not run that many transmitters
Right, you
simultaneously
can't.
all the time. You can't. It don't work. They just say they have 26 transmitters and they get to be the number one. That's how they do it.
Okay.
At least that's how I envision it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it looks like the rules here. All Class A entries may also operate one additional transmitter if it operates exclusively on any band or combination of bands above 50 megahertz, VHF, UHF, without changing its basic entry classification. Station does not qualify for a 100-point bonus as an additional transmitter. Station may be operated for a club's field day period, and all contacts count for QSO credit. Let's see, operated using primary call sign in exchange of the main field day group, and it is separate and distinct from get on the air station, which is another thing we should really check in to try to do as well.
Was there a 5-watt limit, did that say? No?
Free VHF.
I saw 5 watts there.
No,
did that go here?
it operates in the same class that your if you're
So 100 watts for,
if you yes,
I
100
think that's,
watts. It's
field
actually
day.
100. Yeah, it's 100 watts now for the
yeah, 100 watts, period. Nothing greater than that.
Yep, that was that 5-watt was something else. That was something else there. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been hearing a few dings in the chat here, and I hadn't seen anything come up here until recently, but I got a couple of things in here. Steve Nicodemus just got his licensed and call sign this morning. If they get a chance, I'd like to ask a few questions. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Steve was asking what their call sign is. So yeah, Steve, either by chat or via the audio, feel free to chime in here.
Okay, is the microphone working?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Mostly they're questions about resources, books or websites or videos or whatever to kind of get me started. I guess there's one that's not. What's a good way to, I have a small handheld radio, with a 2 meter and 70 centimeter band on it. And what's a good way to find a frequency to have conversations on, either to call CQ or to respond to someone?
Yeah, good
Denver
question.
Radio Club repeaters. Denver Radio Club repeaters.
There's a few different ways there. Yeah, there's a lot of different clubs here. You can look up on their websites. There are different repeaters that they have, and you can program in the correct information to your handheld there. Sometimes a little bit more difficult than said, but oftentimes, yeah, the 145490 is usually our pretty busy club repeater.
Join us
then there's
Wednesday
also-
nights.
Yep, Wednesday nights, 7:30 p.m. for the similar
Yeah,
thing to
definitely
this. Similar to that net list, you can check out when there's actually going to be people on the air, so you'll know that there's going to be people out there too. So a lot of different things. There was somebody else in there.
Repeaterbook.com is a wonderful source for repeaters all over the country or the world, any band, any city. any state. They got it all.
Okay.
Any mode.
Kind of leads to another question. The manual that came with my radio, I've got a Yaesu 65 or FT65. I think it uses 2 meter and 70 centimeter band, but the instructions in there aren't really very good. It gives the basic stuff, like how to turn the
I was gonna
radio
say-
on.
I was gonna say throw it away, jokingly.
Yeah, stuff like that, and then it kind of gets off into the weeds after that. But I
Yeah.
wonder if there's a good source for like learning how to connect up to a repeater, or things like that. How to use different settings on the radio.
David Kessler on YouTube is a pretty extensive backlog of videos, especially for beginners too. Pretty good. Asking questions, and has a 681 backlog there. So he is a pretty good resource. ARL in general. I guess there should be videos online on how to program your radio. What type of radio did you say it was?
It's a handheld. It's a Yaesu FT65R.
How did you program it?
He hasn't yet.
I don't know how to program it yet.
RT
No,
Systems,
exactly.
RT Systems, RT Systems. Get the software. HRO has it. RT Systems is the
RT
easiest
Systems.
and best way to program your radio.
Yeah, there's probably two solutions for you. There's probably one that came with it, that it's probably buried somewhere. The two popular options are, as one Fred mentioned there, RT Systems. It comes with a programming cable and the software itself, and it kind of makes it a lot easier, and they provide a lot of knowledge-based articles and really a good follow-up for there. It does cost. And then there's a free solution called Chirp. If you kind of know what you're doing a little bit, you kind of download the software and attach your radio. But there is a bit of a learning curve with some of the, if we go back to the repeaters here, you'll see there's the CTSC tones and the offsets. When you're programming those into certain software, it doesn't make it. The free one, you have to kind of know what you're doing a little bit, but it's not too bad. But then, RT Systems makes it a lot easier for you there. So those are kind of the two options.
Get the RT Systems, and don't forget the cable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think-
Yaesu has a free one for the FT65 as well. It's on their website.
What was
Yeah.
that again?
Yaesu's website,
Right.
under FT65 downloads, at the bottom there's programming software. You need a cable.
Okay.
Yep.
Just one more question. What's a
Sure.
good resource for learning Morse code at an absolute beginning level?
I don't know if this answers the question or not, but we've talked about CWOps.org. They're a pretty good resource. I think a membership, but they have a CW Academy you can get on, and a couple weekends. I can't remember their exact schedule. When we were when somebody joined earlier, they talked about the Colorado QRP Club. So if you are local, that is another resource as well. They might be able to help you out as well on that as well. I don't know.
I've got a couple suggestions.
Go ahead.
My ticket, I'm now around 17 to 20 words per minute, and I really embrace this Farnsworth business. That is, you hear the characters at a target speed, maybe 25 or 30 words per minute, which you obviously can't copy when you're first starting out, but you put big spaces between the letters. And there's a couple websites I would recommend you check out that will help you learn all the letters using the Farnsworth technique. And one is called AA9PW. I can't remember if it's .net or .com. And the other is LCWO.net or .com. It's LCWO is probably the most popular. Learn code while online or something like that. And various drills. You'll learn the letters in a certain pattern and in a certain sequence that's called the Koch technique. You can find out all about it when you log into the websites. But the important point is that you learn the code the right way. So you don't start out with the goal of 5 words per minute and hearing all the dits and dahs in your head and counting them, because that will limit you very quickly. When you get up around 12 or 13 words per minute, you'll hit this so-called glass ceiling. So I would recommend either of those 2 sites are excellent to get started. And as Daron mentioned, the CW Ops is a good way to start as well. I've not used them, but I've heard very good reviews. And the other resource you might consider is Long Island. Is it Long Island CW Club? I think that might be it. If you look at that, they have lots of resources for people that are just getting started. Let's see what it comes up with. Yeah, that's it. I may join that. So when you're on your journey to learn the code, there's a couple steps, and one is you start to learn the letters at a very fast speed, but the actual practical speed of how many words per minute is slow, and you shrink the spaces between characters. But you'll run into, inevitably, and I'm running into it now, at about 20 words per minute. You just can't write fast enough, and you've got to get away from hearing each individual character in your head, and you have to start hearing the word, not the individual letters, like a ticker tape. And that's called head copy. But you've got a ways down the road before you bump into that one. But I'd recommend you at least be aware of that people do go start doing head copy, because you reach a practical limit where your fist cannot write as fast the characters down of what the other op is sending you.
Hey, Daron.
Very cool. Thanks there. Appreciate that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, comment. You brought up on your screen there the Army. There's also a Navy website. They're old videos that are a lot of fun and have a lot of good information on learning Morse code. So I highly recommend those, just if nothing else, just for a little bit of fun and learning some basics. And very good resources there, despite the age of those videos. They're very good. And ARRL has broadcasts. Once you learn your letters, your individual letters, they've got a every evening they've got broadcasts on the radio that you can listen to that'll help you also get your speed up. But even if you just go get a CD down at Ham Radio Outlet, they've got some CDs there, and a real good, ARRL's got a real good book there for teaching some of the basics and just for learning some of the individual characters. But the internet itself is just loaded with sites there for learning the Morse code. So kind of look around on the internet and check some of those out and find something that works good for you. Back to you,
There are
Daron.
also some really good iOS or Android apps as well to do the same thing. So you don't have to be sitting in front of your computer to be able to do practice.
Yeah, you can do that while you're driving down the road.
Yeah.
Crash.
Okay, well,
Very
thanks everyone. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah. Was I seeing here? Yeah, it's up to you. Reading here a article from local club, Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club. There is no magic system to learning Morse code. It's up to you to put in the effort. They were just providing them the tools, and so are we, the methods that will give everyone here the best chances. So, yeah, plenty of options out there. This Coke method is we've kind of skimmed and talked about a little bit, and lcwo.net, CW Ops. Yeah, a lot of online resources for sure, and offline and whatever it may be. Plenty of resources. So, yeah.
Wednesday nights, if you've got further questions, talk to us on Wednesday nights, and we'll just load you up with all kinds of information when it comes to CW.
Okay, yeah, I need to start coming every Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, luckily you're well. kind of needs to be programmed a little bit, but Wednesday nights, 145.490, as long as you can tune up that frequency, you should be able to talk with us. You may need to also set the 100 megahertz offset as well, yeah. Yeah. Good luck with the more. 145.490 Wednesday nights, 9:30 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. Excuse me.
So my rig is, I just have a high frequency rig, and
Yeah.
I'm curious about the 2-meter net you do. Does anyone ever record those and make those sessions audio available anywhere? I'd like to listen in, but I can't receive 2 meters.
Daron does. Daron does.
Gotcha. Yeah. I do on my YouTube channel. So going forward, it will be on our official channel, youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. There is a huge backlog of quite a few years, though, on my own channel, which is my call sign, which is K1DBC, youtube.com/K1DBC. So, yeah, I've really been recording those video and audio for quite a few years now. So, if anybody wants to check those out here, yep, about 152 videos from all of our presentations, past presentations, Elmer sessions like this evening's, and yep, learning nets. So,
cool.
Yeah. Appreciate you
That's
asking. Yeah. Yeah, glad to have that. And yeah, I'm glad that we're going to have it on our official YouTube channel. Going forward, we'll hopefully have a little bit more of an update on our website here. I've updated it a little bit. I guess speaking about club things here real quick. Kind of just skimmed it down to the kind of more important things. So just right at the top here is just this evening's net here, as well as how you get into it and the link to the YouTube channel here. Put on a link for the PDF for the for the Hamfest here, as well as the latest edition of the round table, just right on the front page there. So hopefully going forward it'll be a little bit different. But yeah, does somebody have any comments, questions? Just real quick here, I can show you what at least I'm hoping it will look like in the future here, not too long. Welcome to Denver Radio Club. It'll have the same kind of information here, but it'll just kind of look a little bit nicer, flow a little bit nicer. I'll have links to the history and license testing and officers and roundtable. Should be a little bit easier to navigate apart from this kind of interface here. Yeah, hoping we have that here in the future. So that is something to look forward to as well.
A quick question on this. Just as an overview, Daron, of the entire club, how many members are there, or let's say this, active members or people that participate and join in on Wednesday nights, etc.? And are there subgroups that have naturally aggregated around special interests like QRP or FT8, etc.? So those are a couple questions I guess I have.
Yeah, so kind of to answer your first question, we have 450 dues paying members. So we have quite a lot of members, but active-wise, in person, these sorts of meetings right now, when we were in person, we would have 50 people when we were meeting in person. On our nets, we get anywhere from 30 to 40 people Wednesday nights, and then we have a Sunday night, or Wednesday nights is probably like 20 to 30 people, and then we have a Sunday night net, which is our general club meeting. That happens, Sunday nights, and we get about 30 to 40 people on that. Yeah, we'd love to see more involvement, really, quite honestly, with more people here. So we kind of see separation, or groups kind of niche off with kind of some of the different repeaters. Sunday mornings, we have our invitational net on our 6-meter repeater. So not really anything else that happens too much on that. There might be some conversation that does happen day to day, but people do bracket off to that. Packet systems, people find that as well a little bit. We're kind of a general interest club. We have some emergency communication stuff we've done in the past, but we don't really do too much anymore. We do some testing, so we do have some VEs with us. What else? There's a lot of...
With our virtual meetings, we're seeing upwards of 60 to 70 or more.
Oh, cool. Perfect. That's right. Yep. The meeting right after this, we usually get quite a few people, which is really nice to see. We have a DMR Digital Brandmeister radio repeater. Get some activity here or there. And then unofficially, there's people doing some fox hunting here or there. kind of with some other clubs, but some of our members report back on that. Yeah, I can't think of much else really on that. If you have anything, go ahead.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we got a lot of people reporting on some of their HF activities here and there, and it's yeah, kind of a sleepy club here or there, but a lot of potential, that's for sure. What else here? We got another 7 minutes or so here until the meeting starts. I don't know if let's see who's going to be presenting tonight here. Is Tom here online yet? Let's see. People.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
Oh, that's you right there. Perfect. Okay, that's you. That's right. Hey there, Tom.
I've been
Perfect.
chiming in on your meeting all night long here.
That's right. No problem. I don't know if you want to try sharing your screen at all, just to test it.
Yeah, let's do that. Hold on.
I can stop
here.
mine
Hit
here.
the button. Yeah, hold on. I did the wrong button. Let's do this. Let's do a window. We're going to do that guy, and we're going to share it. Now, I want to do one other thing here. So there's the beginning of my presentation, bang,
Perfect.
bang. So you see that? I want to try one other thing before we
Sure.
before we go. Stop sharing. I hit stop sharing. Okay, I got to go back here. So I'm back. Now let me do this again. I want to share a tab because I want to see if you guys hear audio from something here. I got to find the tab here. My files, that one right there. Because apparently this is the only way that Google Meets lets you do multimedia audio is if you're sharing a tab from Chrome. Zoom allows you to be able to select a window and make it a multimedia thing, which allows you to do audio from it. So here we go. I start that. Now you're going to see this pop up, and then I'm going to hit.
So today
You
we
hear some
are
audio?
Yep, we do hear that audio.
Portable.
Okay, that's very good. And I just went full screen with, well, sort of full screen with it. But that's fine. So what I'm going to do is unshare myself. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. Now, stop sharing. And
Perfect.
I'm back. So that will work for everybody. So that's great. I appreciate that. And I'll let you get back to your meeting.
No problem. Yeah, we just have a few more minutes here. Yeah, it's a good time to take a restroom break. Yeah, glad to see you got that out. I didn't realize that worked in Chrome. That's pretty cool. What else? Okay, yeah, just a couple minutes left, and then yeah, Tom there will be giving us a presentation how to work amateur satellites. So pretty cool
do we have to log out and log into a different meeting or?
Nope, same Google meeting.
Just stay here. Good deal.
Let's see, B. Gable asks, how often do we meet? This meeting you're watching here this evening is once a month, the third Wednesday of the month. We meet otherwise every other Wednesday on one of our repeaters, 145.490. And then Sunday nights, it's 8:30 p.m. On the air as well. Let me bring those up here. Yeah, so Sunday nights we meet. Well, Sunday mornings we do technically meet 6 meters if you have a 6 meter radio. Sunday nights 7:30 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. 155.490, and then Wednesday night learning nets same repeater there 145.490 7:30 p.m. So, and we do broadcast those over YouTube as well. Good question. Yeah, no problem. All right. Gosh, we had quite a few things there to talk about. So, I guess really quickly here. Some other clubs business and stuff here. W0TLM, the Tri-Lakes Mountain Club, I think in southern Colorado, they had a recent meeting on their in-person and hybrid as well, talking about the James Webb Space Telescope. So Curtis Hayes, AC5CW, provides a brief overview and his experience with Mesh-tastic radios. So you can check that out on their YouTube channel here. What else? Let me put that in the chat here. Another minute or so here. Let's see. Professional broadcast engineering podcast, This Week in Radio Tech. They used to be on the same twit.tv as Ham Nation, but offshoot now, but these are professional broadcast engineers. This is their episode 593. Doug Vernier, consulting engineer and founder of VSoft, is talking to them about RF signal propagation and incredible maps that reveal the coverage. They'll examine over a dozen real-world signal samples to compare FCC contours versus Longley Rice coverage. So really cool stuff there. And we have just another minute here. I'll throw it out. Does anybody have any last-minute comments, questions, anything else here for the Elmer session? Let me know.
Daron?
Go ahead.
Hey, if you need any help for field day, just let me know. I don't have a whole lot going on in June except for cataract surgery.
Oh, gotcha. Well, hopefully that goes well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if the cataract surgery is around field day, then I can't probably can't lift more than 5 pounds.
That's okay. Not a problem.
On the other hand, I can help out with other things, food or whatever. So
warm bodies. That's all we need sometimes. Yeah,
right.
That's okay. Yeah. Well, hopefully that's for you.
Never
Yeah.
know, if I really get around to it, I might bring some pulled pork.
Okay. That'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah.
So
He's going to help eat the food.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. Well, I got a pork butt at Costco the other day. I just need to find time to put it in the smoker.
Perfect. Well, cool. No problem. Yeah, anybody's help definitely appreciated. We'll bring it up. We'll have one more meeting group meeting before that, but we'll definitely bring it up before in all our meetings as well and nets. So again, thanks everyone for being here on the Elmer session. Yeah, we'll throw it over to Jerry, club president, or anybody else who wants to take over.
Well, apparently Jerry's got other commitments tonight. So this is Kevin, K0 KPS. So I want to welcome everybody to the meeting.